Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Bible Geek Listeners Hangout. Um, in lieu of a major topic today, I just wanted to point out that there has been some planning, some preliminary planning for a debate of some kind. Um, you can call it a debate, perhaps not, but it's going to be between Dr. Price and Dr. Bart Ehrman. So hold on. Okay. It's being trying to be organized by the Wichita State University atheists. Dan Holman is the one that's the liaison to the Bible Geek listeners. And he says, Ben Holman says, I'm the head of Wichita State University Atheists and Agnostics and the one responsible for organizing the event. If all goes well, it'll take place this coming October 2015. Ehrman has agreed to it if we can raise the funds. I'm still awaiting a video from him endorsing it. I'm not sure if he'll provide one or not. I'm also still trying to slowly work out all the details of the Kickstarter, etc. Many ducks to get in a row. Unfortunately, school and work have been taking up most of my time and not letting me focus on side projects. So that's the first statement. And what I'll do is I'll provide a link to the video, YouTube video, unless Ruben wants to display it or something in the Hangout. But I'll go ahead and post the YouTube link to the video, a very short video that Dr. Price did. Yes, and Reuven posted a link to a response that Bart Ehrman posted about it. He didn't seem to know a whole lot about it. So apparently, well, I'll go ahead and read what was said since then when people kind of noticed that Ehrman was kind of like, huh? It'll take a second. Okay, and the latest statement was made by Ben Holman on February 15th in the Bible Geek Listeners Facebook group. Responding to Justin Paul, he said, I'm the one organizing this event, not Price. Ehrman evidently is confused due to misinterpretations of Price posts. If the fans can raise the money for the debate Kickstarter, once the Kickstarter launches, they will be engaging in conversational format for the entire event. Conversational format, so it's not like a us versus them kind of thing, formal debate, with light moderation to make sure all relevant topics get talked about. And then Ben adds, I find formal debates boring and speakers can't correct for misunderstandings or errors in real time, which is frustrating. And I think that appeals to most people's idea of what they would like to see. So anybody, any questions or comments on that? Good.
Hey, John, how much was Ehrman's fee?
It varies, but it can be up to like $6,000, he mentioned.
And where did he say that money goes to?
Uh, Charities of his choice. I'm not sure exactly what charities.
You don't know the list. Okay.
Good charity would be Bob Price, I think.
Yeah.
Just hand over the money to Bob. So anyway, No one has any questions on that. It's still not finalized, I would imagine. So, and also contingent on possibly the money. Who's to say how long it's going to take to actually raise that money? I know a lot of people would like to see that happen, but as far as I can tell, traditionally speaking, the Bible Geeks are not a particularly financially well-off group, with a few exceptions. So I'm throwing the floor open. Anybody have anything else they want to talk about, add, discuss, complain about? Well, if no one's going to be discussing anything, I don't see any reason to continue. My wife came home unexpectedly tonight, so I can be doing something else.
Do you know anything about this book on your slideshow, Truth in Translation by Jason Badun? I've heard of that title. I don't know anything about the book, but I've read other things by him and really like his writing.
Yeah,
Tell
it's
me
been
about
around
the
for quite a
particular book.
while. Basically, it compares several popular translations and some not so popular of the New Testament in this case only. He compares the Jehovah's Witnesses New World Translation, the Catholic New American Bible, the King James Version, the classic one. What else? Oh, the New American Standard Bible, a few others. And he kind of rates them for literalness and accuracy and the lack of bias. And after surveying all the different facets, he came to the conclusion that the Jehovah's Witnesses New World Translation was the most accurate and literal.
That's fascinating.
Except for a few biased translation issues. But as far as being faithful to the Greek, I think he gave it the highest marks.
I'm not sure how it rates as being a critical text that, like follows Nestle Aland or, and tries to get the best textual variants.
They've always used one of the original versions of the Westcott Hort text, the basis for the United Bible Society and the NA 20, whatever, 20X.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So they also published, they called the Kingdom Interlinear, which is
heard of that.
Yeah, so you can check, and I think a lot of their interlinears also have like the text of the New World Translation in a column along the side, so you can also check to see how it holds up. So.
Thank you, John.
I went through the trouble of digitizing it years ago off of one of their Watchtower CDs, and if you ever tell them you have that, they want to know names, addresses, phone numbers, where you got it. Not supposed to have that stuff. But anyway, I extracted it off there and digitized it into different formats for like eSword and then later Logos Bible software. And it's okay. Some of the language and the phraseology just seems a little bit too lowbrow for me. I don't know. It just seems kind of a little bit written for a lower level of reading. So that's just my personal preference.
Yeah, thank you, John.
No problem. Do you have a favorite translation, Wayne?
Oh, it actually seems to vary from what I'm reading. For the Old Testament, for the Torah, I really like Richard Elliott Friedman. For the rest of the Old Testament, I actually think I like either the New Revised Standard or the Revised English Bible. New Testament, I usually read in the Greek Interlinear.
Yeah, if I had to pick, say, one overall that I would use the most, I would say the Revised Standard.
But there's actually a newer version that I ran into recently that I've actually fairly impressed with. What was it called? Something English Bible.
English Standard Version.
No, it's like New English Bible or Revised or something like that, or Web English Bible maybe, or something like that.
Yeah, there's a recent one, the Net Bible, New English Translation. That's the one that was done almost entirely online through correspondence, collaborative.
For the book of Genesis, besides Friedman's translation, I also like the original Bible Project's translation, the which they're going to call the Transparent English Bible. But they've been working on it over a decade, and I guess the person working on it's gotten busy with other things, so nobody knows where he left off on it.
Yeah, like I said, I use a whole bunch of different ones, whichever ones I. And then I have software that shows me like all the translations that I have. Almost all of them are in Logos, so I just look at them all at once for particular stuff, and I can just pick and choose or just compare them. You know.
Yeah.
It's kind of like some of those websites, like what's that one? Bible Gateway is good. A few others that can show you a whole bunch of translations on one page for a particular verse, as well as the original languages too, which is helpful. But I also like Dr. Price likes to collect translations in print, though he's a print guy. So I have a lot of print Bibles too, but I prefer to collect the electronic versions.
I just remembered the translation I was talking about earlier. One of them, I actually have MP3s of it. It was the ESV, English Standard Version. I can't believe I forgot what that was.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
It's nice for listening too, not when I'm actually just not the page studying, but it works well for audio.
Yeah, I like it because they were one of the first ones to do both New Testament and Old Testament interlinear electronically, so you can really judge their translation, especially as reverse interlinear, where it's reading in the order of the English, and you have the Greek or Hebrew underneath.
Yeah, I don't like when they change the word order of the original, but
you know what I like to do is I like to just extract that interlinear and eliminate the actual English translation and the original languages and just go with that strange interlinear because it just reads so bizarrely. I really love to just like read it, and everything's adjectives are after the nouns and all kinds of strange stuff.
Yeah, David, I actually have 3 different English translations of the Apocrypha right next to me. My new Revised Standard Version has the Apocrypha in it. My Revised English Bible has the Apocrypha in it. And then I got a Septuagint with Greek on one side, English on the other by Brenton, he's a translator. And it also has the Apocrypha in it. So there's several choices.
Yeah, I have all kinds of goodies. Most of the pseudepigrapha and the Apocrypha digitally. Dead Sea Scrolls.
Do you have a preferred translation for pseudepigrapha books like Enoch or Ascension of Isaiah? Or just whatever's available is what you have to...
Yeah, what's available. There's not a whole lot available that's free. Although there's something, was the 3 books of Enoch, and I'd have to look it up for you real quick, but I thought that was a good translation. But what I was looking for is almost every version you'll find anywhere, even in book form, has certain sections left out. And some of those sections are very interesting, and I'd like to actually have a version that had them in there.
Gotcha. Yeah, I haven't gotten around to reading them yet, so I don't know what's there or left out. It's on my to-do list.
Well, one way is like digitizing these books for various people and various projects. There's a lot of references to the pseudepigrapha, the Apocrypha, all kinds of stuff, church fathers and that. So when I'm hunting down these links to code them in as hyperlinks, you end up reading a lot of it, whether you want to or not. So,
Nice.
yeah, it's like I've probably read a lot more in the last few months because of, say, Couchoud's book, because he
Okay.
links to a lot of things, the Assumption of Moses, Enoch, um, you know, you name
So,
it.
with the Couchot book, you said you had a printed copy and you were scanning it, or you had a digital copy already and you were editing
Uh,
it somehow?
Frank Zindler sent me the 2-volume books, and I scanned them and sent them back to him.
Oh, okay.
So I have to rely on the PDF scans for when I'm, you know, correcting the OCR text.
Gotcha. You said you were finding mistakes in the original printed version, right?
Oh yeah. Oh man. All over the place. I mean, Bible misquotes. Everything you can imagine. And it can't be like I asked Frank Zindler about that. I said, what would account for that? He thought, well, maybe that the English translator was translating from like a handwritten manuscript or something. I think, well, the French version had been published in print for a while, so wouldn't he be working from a print version? But I came to the conclusion that just the translator was only semi-competent, which makes me kind of question how good of a translation the actual text is, Because if you can make a lot of stupid mistakes, like quote a long 2-page quotation from 1 Corinthians and then put 2 Corinthians at the end of it
Yeah,
as a
gotcha.
reference, you got to be not quite on the ball. So even though it reads well and it's kind of very poetic in a way, I'm just wondering how accurate it is based on the citation mistakes.
And that's out of copyright now, right? That's so old. I forget how long Couchot
It's
lived. I know.
actually within. It was like this translation is 1939, so that's within that's not public domain.
Oh.
So I don't know exactly. I don't really concern myself about what happens to these texts after they leave my hands.
Uh-huh.
If they have copyright issues, then that's the problem. The person that's actually making it available, and they're the ones that should be.
Yeah, I can't remember how long Couchot lived. I'm not looking at the Wikipedia page or anything now to remember.
Yeah, I made some kind of change in.
1959 is when he died, so not horribly long ago.
Yeah, he's written some other stuff besides this, but the creation of Christ is what we're referring to. Okay, I'm looking up that Enoch book by that author. You might have heard of him once I read it to you. I don't know if I did this or maybe it's an upgrade, but in Caliber, when I search for something, it used to just show me the books. Now it's just highlighting the books among the thousands of books that I have. So now I have to scroll through a long list to try to find it. Okay, the one I thought was pretty good was called The Books of Enoch, a complete volume containing 1, 2, and 3 Enoch by Joseph B. Lumpkin. But then again, there's parts that I think in 3 Enoch that I wanted to read that were not there even in this book. So that's one of the reasons why I got a hold of it. I thought it would be in there, but it wasn't.
That was, how do you spell his last name? Like pumpkin with an L?
Hold on a second. Lumpkin.
So nobody else has any questions? Nobody else wants to come on mic?
Well, that's unfortunate. Well, at least we did a live show, right? We haven't done one in a month. What are you gonna do? Yeah, well, I don't know. I want to call it quits. You guys want to go offline and say goodnight?
Yeah, I'm tired. I'm not really
Yeah.
thinking of questions or anything.
Yeah, well, the last few times it's been you and me chatting, so.
Yeah.
Not that I don't want to do it, but it's just not that interesting. So,
But if anybody watching this short video for this time around has any questions they want us to deal with next week, then just post them as a comment on the video.
yeah, they could do that.
One of us will have to remember to look there, but